Is there a quarterback controversy? What do you say?
I mean, I think there's been one all along, but it doesn't seem like it's really official yet. If he loses, Brock, if he plays against the Browns and loses, I think it's official. I think it's something the Niners can't deny anymore. And if they're serious about winning games and playing the person who gives them the best chance, they got to go to Mac if Brock loses against Cleveland.
Okay. So let's be very specific here.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. So what we're saying is today on November 25, there is not a quarterback controversy. The way I understand it is Kyle wants to play Brock.
Mhm.
He'll do everything he can to play Brock for the reasons we just enumerated.
Yep.
So there's no controversy this week.
It's not like the coach is working against the quarterback. No. It's just that the quarterback might be in the process of getting himself permanently benched or temporarily benched.
Yes. And if they go into Cleveland, it's a road game against a crummy team. But if they go with a pretty good defense and a great defensive coordinator, if they go in there and lose that game and Brock plays poorly,
Yep.
and he plays poorly, they got a problem, Iggy. And Kyle's going to have to make a decision one way or another that he doesn't like. He's either going to have to bench his starter, which he won't like, or he's going to have to keep playing his starter, and he's going to get a lot of heat, and there'll be grumbling in the locker room.
You know what this reminds me of? The Jake Moody situation.
Tell me.
Jake Moody was struggling, and it kept happening. And then he'd miss a kick. Let's compare that to Brock Purdy throwing a pick. He'd miss a kick. We'd go to Kyle after the game and say, Kyle, what do you think of Jake Moody now? And he'd say, I love Jake Moody. I have the utmost belief in Jake Moody. Why would you even ask me that question? Jake's our kicker. And then eventually he just missed enough kicks that they had no choice. There was nothing they could say. They had to kick. They had to get rid of him. I'm not saying the Niners are going to get rid of Brock Purdy, but they can say whatever they want. They can say they never even considered going to Mac Jones and they believe in Brock Purdy. But if he throws 2 picks in the first half against Cleveland, at a certain point, you have to bench him. Have to. He's benching himself.
I totally agree. And I want to come back to Shanahan. I listened to some of his post-game presser on TV, and he was saying, well, what about the 3 picks? And this was his response. I'm paraphrasing, but it's close. Those are 3 throws he'd like to have back.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, let's
Thanks,
analyze that, okay? We're English majors. Let's analyze. What was happening on those 3 throws? Those are 3 throws he'd like to have back. That doesn't answer the question.
No.
It doesn't tell you what happened. He just says he'd like to have him back. No shit. Obviously, he'd like to have him back. I mean, It's so obvious. So he's trying to avoid. He's trying to evade. But then he says, or in the answer, he says he made good decisions, right? So, but he'd like to have him back, but he made good decisions. My attitude is, who cares about the decision? Yeah. If you threw a pick, you threw a pick. I don't give a shit what kind of a decision it was. And you made a very good point this morning when we were prepping for the show. If it was a good decision, but he threw a pick, then it wasn't a good decision.
I mean, if he doesn't have the arm to make these throws or his timing's off, why'd you make the throw? You were winning the game. It's not like it was 3rd and 15 and you're down 10 in the 4th quarter. And what choice do you have? Mac threw some picks like that early in the year. 4th down, losing. 1st down, winning in field goal range, and you give him the ball. What are you trying to prove? What agenda do you have? Just win the game.
Iggy, he threw a pick on 1st down?
That was his first pick. It was on 1st down, and it gave the Panthers the ball deep in the Niners territory, and then Bryce Young threw a pick in the end zone to give it back to the Niners because he was feeling generous.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Terrible.
He sucks. And he may turn out to be good. He'll never be great. But I mean, first number 1 pick, that I was looking at him and I'm thinking, are you serious? Because I don't follow college ball. So it's the first time I'd ever heard of him, let alone seen him. And it's like, what?
Can you imagine buying a ticket to that game last night, never having been to an NFL game in person, thinking you're going to be just in awe of the performances on the field, particularly by the quarterbacks, and the 2 quarterbacks you see are Bryce Young and Brock Purdy. It's like, They're little. They can't throw that far. This is the NFL. Wow.
Yeah, they can't throw that far. Yeah.
Remember that time we went to Pittsburgh? It was Jim Tom Sula as the coach, and Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback, and we'd never seen him in person. I think he put up like 45 on the Niners that day, and he was making throws 50 yards down the field to Antonio Brown that Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick would never even attempt. I remember sitting there being like, holy shit, I understand why he's been your quarterback for 20 years. I mean, wow. Yeah. And then we saw Brady in New England when he almost came back from that. Was like a holy shit. I get it. Lamar Jackson last year, he beat the shit out of the Niners. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I get it. I don't know. When you watch these guys, it's like, yeah, you have your day.
Well, I mean, when you watch Brock that game, you wouldn't say yeah, you'd say ugh, right, Iggy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, here's the deal. I was watching, at my home. First pick, okay, he threw a pick. It was ill-advised, but he threw a pick. Second pick, well, he throws 2 picks a game. Third pick, this is above and beyond. Iggy was lanyap. It was above and beyond. It's like
there were a couple borderline ones before halftime, and then I think at halftime, Kyle said, "Guess what? You're not going to lose this game."
Yeah. It was, Iggy, it was one of the worst performances I've seen by a 49. I mean, I've seen some bad ones. It was really bad. And for a starter.
Here's what I want to say, though. I think maybe this is a side topic, but they should have benched him. And benching him, let's not even use the verb bench. Pull him. Doesn't mean you can't start him the next game. It just means, Brock, it's not your day. They do this in other sports. In hockey, if the goalie gives up 5 goals, they pull him and they'll start him the next game, but it's like you're done. Or in baseball, hey man, you're getting freaking shelled today. We still like you. You're going to be the starter next week. I mean, probably, but you're done today. And I remember when I was a kid, the Niners, 1994, when they won the Super Bowl, it was week 5. They got their asses kicked by Philly, 40-8. You know what Seifert did in that game? He pulled Steve. Steve threw 99 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Seifert pulled him for Gerback. Young lost his mind and was like yelling at him on the bench, and Seifert's attitude was, play better. You'll start next week, but fucking play better. I don't know. I liked it.